Lately, I've been having a little bit of a hyperfixation with Pokemon and its character design. I've done light fashion reviews about it and even made an entire video on Pokemon Legends CA yelling about how much I love to be Corbo's doorman. And while on this journey, I've noticed there is not a single water type gym leader whose job is being a diver. We have two swimmers, a fisher, a luchador, a homosexual and his sugar daddy, and weirdly enough, two chefs. Marlon gets close as he could be seen as a scuba diver, but even then, he's given more surfer bro. The deep ocean in general seems to be underrepresented in Pokemon, which is surprising considering the profoundly strange creatures that live under there, and the fact that the water type is one of the types that has the most Pokemon. It's strange, is it not? And it so happens, I have the power to correct this injustice. If Game Freak won't do it, I shall do it myself. TLDR, I made an OC and I am making it your problem. One of the first things I like to start with is defining the face, in part to make sure that the character makes the impression I wanted to at first glance, and to actively fight the damage that learning from one of those how to draw manga style bugs did to me. Same face syndrome, my beloved. I knew her main character trait is being an introvert, but choosing the kind of flavor of mental illness I wanted to take shape was kinda hard. So I came up with 3 distinct personalities befitting a nerd who goes to the grocery store with a brass helmet on, the shy kind who gets anxiety from proper punctuation, the antisocial one who would rather die than talk to anyone, and a gremlin who hates people. Next, I moved on to the hair. I had a very specific visual I got from doom scrolling at 3 AM in the morning. Algae hair coming out of the bottom of a helmet like some sort of Cthulhu creature. So I ran with it, getting deeply familiar with Wikipedia as I researched different types of seaweed, and Wikipedia in turn begging me for money. Then, as I was trying out different hairstyles with the silhouette, I realized I did not actually know how the diver suits actually worked. One of the things you must do as a character designer is to learn the rules before you can break them. And so far, I have been running around with a concept made up of my own dreams, pulled together by duct tape and a prayer. I had to know how much I could actually get away with before I accidentally snapped your suspension in disbelief. So, to give you the TLDR, diving has a rich history that ranges from the green hunting sponges to bathe with, to now being used as a mean of marine research and recreational activities. And billionaires wanted to see the Titanic. For my purposes, what I was looking for is the standard diving suit developed by Augustus Ibe. That way. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. It consists of a Kanban onesie, leather gloves, brass tip boots, and the iconic brass helmet attached to a tube for breathing purposes. You may be thinking, hey Renan, that doesn't sound that bad. It's not like it's gonna get on your way. You're good. And it may sound like it. But if you remember, my concept has the top half of the suit being skin tight. The suit was thick and bulky because it needed to maintain inner pressure. Otherwise, your lungs will get crushed like a Coke can. By this point in the project, I had spent 2 weeks developing the idea, so I had to make a trade-off. To follow realism and scrap the whole thing entirely, or sacrifice realism for the sake of a more interesting character design. So, I did what every artist with anxiety does best. I left it for future me to worry about. In the meantime, I needed to start narrowing down my choices, and for that, I recruited the help of my lovely community over at the Renan Boutique's Discord. And everyone pretty much loved the gremlin persona and the braids hairstyle. So, I took your feedback, mulled it over for a few days, and arrived at this. We do not speak of the helmet though, that still took a while. And now comes one of the most important parts of making a character: characterization. I had a basic idea of what type of character she was, but I needed to explore more. What face does she have when she's thinking? Would she be mad if she lost the battle? Was she supposed to be likable or relatable? So to answer all of those questions, allow me to tell you a bit more about her while you see me fight for my life trying to draw faces. She's a marine biologist who loves the deep sea and the Pokemon that live there. She has dedicated her life to gain an understanding of these critters, their evolution, and how to better take care of them as a trainer. In the past, she used to dive into the waters herself and spend hours upon hours in the cold and high-pressure embrace of the ocean. She found it strangely comforting to work under such conditions, and like every other stressful thing that happened, was small compared to how big the world was. Eventually, spending too much time in the water and a concerning caffeine addiction took its toll, and after suffering from a collapsed lung, she was never to set again foot at the bottom of the ocean. But if you thought that was gonna stop her, you are wrong. Even if she was doomed to forever be a land walker, she still had papers to write and research to be done. So, having learned nothing and continuing to be a coffee-fueled goblin, she is now working as a water-type gym leader. For reasons she doesn't understand, nor does she care to. Something or other about being a great contributor to society or whatever. So long as she can keep her curious mind going, she's okay with it. So yeah, she's socially inept, petty, obsessive, smug, a nerd, and all-around unpleasant person to be around. Knowing the internet though, I'm sure you people love her already by now. And I would love to tell you more about her interactions with people, but because she is the first character in the series, I kind of can't without fleshing out the others first. I can tell you that she and the Poison Gymleader hate each other. Think about it like a rage baiter and a Twitter celebrity. I'll leave it at that though, because that kind of stuff requires a lot more sketching than just faces and outfits. Let me know if you want to know more though. Anyway, now that I have a stronger grasp of who she is, it is time to figure out the details of her outfit and finalize the design. I ultimately decided to say fuck realism. It's not like I'm dealing with a series that is not for realism. You know, with the being kicked out at 10 years old, you capture God, and the implications of child labor. So I gave her a wetsuit that is the base of her outfit, thinking she would find it more comfortable to wear. And for the pants, I actually made it into another suit that she keeps tied around her waist and doubles as her lab coat when she fully puts it on. The helmet is modeled after her signature Pokemon, Gastrodon, and I also added more of the squiggly shape language in the pattern of the pants, as I think it reinforces the water motif, and it's a weird shape, so it fits a weird person. Oh, and I also gave her a badge, because yes, she wears this strip at her job too. And with that, she is all done. Or at least, she should have been. After finishing, I realized that I focused so much on making sure that she actually looked good and she looked like she belonged in Pokemon that I did not give any hints about who she is and what her life choices have done to her. So I went back and made her hair a bit less perfect by adding flyaways and making her braids more asymmetrical. After all, somebody who doesn't take care of themselves very well would probably care enough to try for the sake of her passion, but not enough to make her hair perfect in the morning. And to make her face stand up a little bit more, I made her lips be in dire need of chapstick. I added darker, more pronounced bags, and added just a bit more lines to age her up a little bit more. You know, we don't want her to look like she's actually drinking water. And with that, it's about to wrap it all up. I've never been good at actually naming things. It's just one of those things that doesn't come easily to me. So I usually just go with the first thing that comes to mind. And the first thing was Marina. However, when I tried to give her that name, she actually slapped me and didn't want me to give it to her. So her name is Mar, which is literally ocean in Spanish. Groundbreaking. As I hinted before, I'm actually making this into a full gauntlet of gym leaders, even though I didn't originally plan to, but I just had so much fun, I actually want to do it again. So I'll be working on the next gym leader live this coming Wednesday. Stay tuned, and maybe you can help me shape them as I go. Anyway, hope you liked this video, darling. Subscribe if you did, and I'll see you later. Toodles! Mwah.